What's up, my loves and fellow creatives? Thank y'all for switching up and joining me on this live. I'm sure we'll get a few folks that come over in just a bit when they realize the other stream is ending. So I wanted to go over today what we're going to do for class tonight. I really hope that the weather doesn't take us out for tonight. So we are going as planned 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be a 2-hour class, and I'm going to show you what we're going to learn today. So first, let me say hello. Nicole, Lisa, Teresa, Sharon, let's see, Sheila, Mrs. Sexy MS, LaQuisha, and Norma, and Elena. Hey, loves. Hey. All right, so I'm going to make this one quick because I actually have to upload this class for you all. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I'll do a switch up for you and show you how versatile this template is and pretty much the concepts that we're going to be learning in class today. So first of all, I had to incorporate these little smart colors for you, but I'm going to do a quick kind of go through of what we have here. So I noticed that the lions are like a really big theme, whether it be for the kids, Lion King type stuff, for Leos, the zodiac celebratory. Probably the most celebrated zodiac sign I've ever seen is Leos, and I'm not a Leo. Um, and then, of course, just in general, just that royal, regal kind of command that a lion has, not just over the jungle, but in general, our understanding of the lion. So I thought this would be a cool template to put together for you all. So I do want to show you, you have a male lion, you have the female lioness, and then you have the cub. So I thought it was cute to throw the cub in there with this one. And of course, I'm going to show you ways that you can change the colors. This is actually an artistic effect. I'm not going to show you how to do the artistic effect. That's a whole nother class. But for this one, the artistic effect is already done. And then you have an opportunity to do a photo. So you'll be able to bring in a photo and put the crown on there, and you can change the color on the crown. So let's say, now this is just me showing you the little smart color feature. All right, Leos, I knew y'all was gonna come out. Yeah, Leos don't play about you not recognizing the Leoism. They would definitely come out and let you know, loud and proud, just like a lion. I'm not mad at y'all. I'm so happy that that we get to celebrate that, even if it's not my birthday. I celebrate you, Leos. All right, so so this one I thought would be cool to show you. Yes, you can use it artistically. You can use it without photos, but I have to show you how you can use it with photos, most templates. So we brought a photo in, and this one I need to figure out which image we used, but if this is if these are your little ones, then you get this template for free because this one was uploaded for the Boss Baby custom character one that we did, and I had so many cute babies that I felt like, oh, I gotta use them somewhere. So these two, they just melted my heart, and then you just see that little brotherly love, and it's just too cute. All right, so, and you can change the crowns if you want them to have both the same crowns. I just did this so that I could show you that we have two different crowns that you can place on there. All right. All right, Teresa. Well, this template will be uploaded tonight. And then I did the jungle background here. So you have a pattern in the background. Let me start with that first because it's pretty simple. The pattern is already there. You're just going to scale it if you want to scale it. I'm just bringing it down in size. You might want it really tiny, even tinier. If you did want to go for that kind of a tropical Hawaiian shirt feel, I'm going to go with like a 110. I thought was a good one where I could see the image and it plays into what we're working on without being so overwhelming. Maybe even 98. Yeah, I like 98. Gives me some fill in over here. Okay, so it's a pattern. So you can change it accordingly. You have your smart color. You can take your smart color off and you can just go with the black, or you can recolor it all together. So I have some things that we're going to play with here, and we're going to do a little bit of I'm going to call this one dark tint. All it is black set onto the normal blend mode, but the opacity is turned down. So you can play with the opacity here and get it as dark as you want. And I'll put instructions there to, how about this, I'll just put change opacity. And I think I put too many eyes on opacity, but y'all get my point. Alright, so you can change your opacity here. Alright, and I think I had it on 73. Here is where you can apply the color, but if you take off the opacity, then you're applying more of the pure color, okay? And in this case, the opacity is 100. So I'm going to leave that on 100. But because a lot of times I don't want the same color of my foreground, like the crown has that light blue, I don't want that exact color in my background because it becomes a little bit. Now, if you want to hide something, this looks like it's a part of one design. But if you're trying to create some contrast between the background and the foreground, then you want to add that. Alright, and I think that is it. For the background, pretty simple, right? You also, if you don't want to use your smart color, you want to use something else, I have another layer here just where you can change a gradient and just, you know, change that real quick without having to go into your smart color. Right, now if you notice we had text behind and in front. So the text behind is kind of gone, it's rotated vertical, it's not typed vertically. So I'm careful to call it vertical text. But let's call it sideways text, okay? So the sideways text looks good to me with the lions because, let me turn my lions back on. Let's turn off the photo. And I'll put our majesty back on there. So if you wanted to do this without a background at all, right? I actually did these shirts as an oversized print. So I did I think it ended up being like a 20, maybe like a 26 by 26 or something to that effect. But it saved me a lot of ink from having to fill in the background and do the sleeves and everything. And it still turned out to be a really nice looking project because it was oversized, but it wasn't all over. And I tell you all sometimes about these jumbo prints or ways that you can really show off printing larger without necessarily going too big. And sometimes going too big, especially if you have a lot of shirts, can take a lot of time. So I'm trying to show you creative ways that you can get bigger, especially if you're working with a 13 by 19 printer and you have to apply these multiple sheets. Then go ahead and do two 13 by 19 sheets and make this like a 20, it probably end up being somewhere like 24 by 18 by the time you end up cleaning all that up. But just showing you that you have some options here. I'm going to turn my background back on. Alright, now for the options with the lions and lionesses themselves, you do have the option to change the colors of the crown. Let's go with our lion first. Okay, and then let's not be disrespectful. Let's take off the queen. And let's give him the king. Alright, so those that text is there for you. So you have the cub, and of course you can modify this text. It's not editable. Well, it is editable. It's easier to say that. So that's completely something that you'll be able to change. And then I have it here to where you can change whichever smart color you want to be the text color. It's all there. Right, I just like the whatever our accent color is here. So let me clean up some of this while I'm working on it. Alright, so let's do smart color 2. I'm going to put that there. So we have our smart colors. What else did I want to show you? Let's change the smart color. Let's change it to red. give it a little moment to update. Now I have these reds like artistically painting the graphic of the lions, but you don't have to use them. If you open up the lion folder, we're going to play with activating the layer mask here, which only affects the crown. And then there's going to be a little bit of work here because depending on what color you choose, whether you choose a red or a navy blue or a baby blue, we're going to be playing with how the hues and saturation here. We're going to go to the red levels, just to the reds, and then we'll play with the lightness and the darkness here to bring out some of that, whatever color you're doing here. So if you're doing like a burgundy or red, then you probably want to decrease your lightness. If you're doing a light blue, then what we had to do, and I'll show you the difference here, there's like a really deep red, and then if I change it back to the blue, I'm giving it a little moment there. Right, and see, that's baby blue, but it's showing really, really dark. So in order to get it to show that baby blue color, then I need to play with my hue saturation for just the reds. And if I bring that lightness up for the reds, now all of a sudden, that blue starts to kick in, that light blue. Alright, and that is, and I can go ahead and disable that layer mask if I want to bring back the artistic color on the face again, and now it has that light blue. These are concepts that we're going to learn. These are more advanced concepts. However, this is still a beginner's class. If you've never touched Photoshop before, as long as you have it downloaded, you're able to open your template, and your Photoshop's not crashing on you, then I am able to walk you through all of these steps that I'm doing right now. So please don't be intimidated. It looks like a really complicated process. Trust me, it was a very complicated process, but it is no longer a complicated process because I'm showing you how to get these advanced level techniques and learn these advanced concepts, but doing them in ways where you can see the effect of it, immediately apply what you learned, and it's not overly intimidating. I promise you that. I just want you all to be aware that that's the reason why I spend hours developing a template, so that I can teach you something, but that you also have a final product in the class. So this is very calculated. It does require a lot of energy and work, but the energy and work is specifically on my side to get it ready for you all to learn in a very clear and concise way. Okay, so yes, you're going to learn some difficult concepts about using recoloring images. So if I turn all of these off and turn off that hue saturation there, you'll see the natural color of the crown was red and it has some blue stones here. However, when I turn on my hue saturation, it grays it out, so that the point of graying something out is so that you can recolor any color that you want, right? So I use the hue saturation layer to knock down that red. And if you notice here, when I go to my reds, I'm increasing this lightness here so that it becomes completely white. And once it's completely white, then my image completely recolors. However, if it is a darker color, then yes, that red is still there, but watch what happens when I recolor it. I'm still using the color blend mode. So whatever value of that color is underneath it, that is the value of the color that is currently selected. So the value of color is pretty much that that lightness or that darkness that is inherent to a specific color. So for instance, a pastel is considered a light color. A red is usually considered like a medium value, probably about a 50 to 60% value of color. And then you have your colors like your forest green and your burgundies, and those type of colors are somewhere like your 80% value colors. And then black is like 100% black, while the white is 0. So basically, you're on this scale. Color itself has a value to it. If you could only see in black and white, or you only saw in grayscale, you would still see that not all colors look the same. They have values to them. So once we take that value and apply a different color, it looks different. And that's why we're able to modify these colors with these advanced concepts. So we can go, like I said, back to our reds now, and then we can bring this lightness up, and now this color applies. So the whole point of this project is going to be, once you select your colors, in order for you to see the colors like you want to see them, we're going to manipulate the value of the reds underneath. Okay, so this is a really important concept to learn. Really complicated template that's already made for you. So you didn't have to go and find all of the values that are going to change colors when you change that. That's a whole nother class. And we did a little bit of that with the Boss Baby. Okay, so we did some of these same advanced color changing techniques. I will do a class showing you how you pick the colors that are going to change, how you cleanly pick those colors, and sometimes it's not as clean as you think. You have to manually manipulate that. Alright, so I know y'all wanted to get into some of these advanced topics. Color changing is probably the #1 topic that, even if you don't know that that's what you want to learn, that's what you all ask me about all the time. Okay, so we're on our color changing trip. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this one on. This one here is just adding a little more color. So it's the same color because it's a smart color, so it's the same color, but I put the blend mode on multiply. The reason why I put it on multiply, because it's going to just, if you think about what sublimation does, it multiplies your image onto the substrate. So if your substrate is white, it's going to multiply on that white. If your substrate is gray, it's going to multiply on that gray. If your substrate is pink, it's going to multiply on top of that pink and probably not give you the color that you're thinking you're going to get, but some kind of blend of that between the substrate color and the color that you're applying. So I just want you all to be aware that there's this little extra on there just to give you a little more intensity of that given color. And then you can change the opacity here. I can make it lighter or darker, depending on how much more I want that color to apply. Alright, so showed y'all the background. Oh, let me show y'all the layer mask I made for this one. I think y'all will really like this. Okay, so y'all know I'm all about my layer mask, and I don't play about my layer mask. I have to have something other than a rectangle or a square to look at when I look at a sublimation image. So I've actually made this one as a fresh new mask for you all that I could see you using in many different applications, but this one just happened to fit this kind of jungle theme. So I did make this mask for you all just so that you had a little something extra with this template. So if you wanted to turn this into a 13x19, I have so many videos showing you how to break down your all over templates into 13x19s, okay? So I'd rather give you the bigger file and then you break it down and keep it if you need it, than for you to take a smaller file and try to make it into an all over, because you're risking pixelation there. Alright, so let's see, let's go through our lion. We have our lioness there, and I kind of have them hanging off the page a little bit here because I still wanted you to be able to use this as a standalone print even without the mask around it. Now if I want to make sure that all of this stays within the mask, then I'm going to just put lions here, because you may want to use this without the lions at all. So we'll take that layer mask, I'm going to alt click and drag it there, and I'll put all. So what this layer mask just did, when I cut this on, it's going to clip whatever art is in there to the mask, and that way if you ever need to know how to do that, we'll have that available as well. So let's disable that for now, and let's disable this one. And we're just going to check all of our lions. My cub is there. We'll check it with the mask on. There we go. So cute. And the reason why I didn't make the cub like bigger, first of all, is it probably shouldn't be as big as the lion and lioness, but also most times your kids' shirts are going to be more square because their torsos aren't as long. So I wanted to make sure that I kept it in the orientation that you don't have to worry about cutting off too much of the image. And of course, let me go to my text for the cub. And I'm actually going to move it up a little bit so that we make sure we don't cut that off. All right, so that's that. Let's try a couple of different color schemes here. You know, I'm all about gradients. This one makes me happy because it's pretty much testing out your CMYKs. And y'all know with the True Colors ink, I like to show off the range of colors. Alright, so we'll have this available too, and I will show you. Sometimes y'all want to use the smart colors, but you don't know, how to change the size of them so that it makes sure that it covers the text here. But in this case, let's say I'm not actually going to duplicate because I don't want to completely move this, but I'm going to move this one independently. Control T. See how big my space is there? If I want all of the colors to show up in that text, then I have to smoosh it down, as the kids say. I don't know which cartoon they got that from, but I have to smoosh it so that it fits the text. And now I get all the colors in there. Okay, so I'm going to leave this one here. And it's just a copy of the same smart color. So if I wanted to go back and change my smart color, I don't have to re-smoosh that, okay? It's already smooshed. Alright, so I think we have, oh, let me show you too. If you took the background, the black off, then you have more of your pop colors there. And you can play with that too. If you wanted to take color and then duplicate that layer, and like I said before, maybe multiply it. Now you see how much more intense those colors are? So I have the color mode on, and that same layer I have the multiply on, and it just really intensifies the colors. And I can intensify it by nothing at all, by going to 0, or I can intensify it somewhat by increasing the opacity of that layer. So like I said, all that'll be on this template for y'all. Let me know if y'all have any questions, because I'm just cleaning up the template and getting it ready for mock-up for you all. And I have been giving you all my whatever mock-up that I do for the Academy. I've been giving you that mock-up for free. So we'll go ahead and keep on with that as long as that makes y'all happy. Let me go to my last mock-up was oh, you know what I said I was going to do too is incorporate a different item with this mock-up. So last time, let's see what we do for 130. 137. Let me check out 137. And I have to immediately rename it, or else I mess myself up because I end up saving over my old files. So yeah, I even make the same mistake. So that was 137. I'm going to go File, Save As, and save this as 138 before I even get on to doing anything. It's all about systems. Alright, so last time when we did this one, and this was a color change class as well. We changed the color of the skin tones, we changed the color of the clothing, we changed the color of the hair, which I didn't expect to do that because that is a big deal. But yeah, we were able to change the color of the hair to be black, blonde, purple, blue, anything in between. So that was a fun class. So let's go ahead and start modifying this one to be the 138 mock-up. So I have a few of these saved already. I'm going to go ahead and turn on everything so that it will be exactly as you will see it. And I will show you all also. I think I did show you. Yeah, I showed you how to turn off the marks on the face. I think it looks cool and makes it look artistic, but you have the ability to change that as well. Alright, so it's all the lions. That's the text behind. We have the text in front. We have our beautiful babies with their crowns on. And then we'll disable that layer mask as well, and we should be good to go. And because the king is probably going to be the most popular, or maybe even the queen, I don't know, we got a lot of Leo queens and just like ladies in general who represent, but let's see, which one do I want to turn on? Maybe I'll do the queen, because we see the king all the time. I'll let the queen stand out. I'm a little partial, but that doesn't mean I don't love my kings too. Alright, so let me do the lioness and turn off the cub. Because I've never really seen anybody do like the lioness and the cub. I always see just the lion. So I want to go ahead and show off that we could do a little something extra too. Alright, so let's close up my cabinet door so I'm not busting my head on the cabinet doors that are just open for no reason. I like to keep it all closed up until I need to access those folders. Alright, so I think we're good here. Let's save, do the save dance. And what did I say I was going to add to the markup this time? Y'all understand, I don't do pressing on stuff unless I absolutely have to. So for this one, what could we do pressed for mock-up? Let's do a tumbler, because I haven't mocked up a tumbler yet. And I'm just looking for a good old tumbler image. And let's do tools, size large. And I'll look for one of the skinny straight tumblers. Let me put in blank instead of white. And I know there are probably all kind of, I'm not telling y'all have to make mock-ups. There are all kind of things on Etsy and beyond. You know what?